Hey everyone, welcome back to Raw Thoughts from A. This is a space where I share my unfiltered thoughts and maybe they'll echo some of yours too. Today's question is one I think a lot of us wrestle with. What happens when nothing seems to motivate you anymore? I'm talking about those days, or weeks, or maybe even months, where you wake up and it feels like every ounce of drive, ambition, and spark has just evaporated. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about for people who go through this. The things that used to excite you don't anymore. The goals you once had feel distant, even pointless. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. So today I want to explore this feeling deeply. Why it happens, what it means, and how we might gently start finding our way back. Let's start by naming it. It's not just laziness. It's not just being unproductive. It's that heavy fog of apathy, where even the smallest things feel too big, where you wonder if you've burnt out or if life has just lost its color. I think the first step is to actually say, this is happening. I'm not motivated right now, and that's okay. Because we live in a world that constantly shames us if we're not hustling, if we're not grinding, if we're not chasing the next achievement. So the minute we slow down, we think something's wrong with us. But here's the truth. Motivation naturally comes and goes, and sometimes the lack of it is actually telling you something really important. So why does this happen? It could be a few things. It could be a few reasons, like burnt out. Like maybe you've been running on overdrive for too long and your body and mind just said enough. Depression or mental health struggles. Sometimes that emptiness is actually a symptom of something deeper. It could be disconnection. You might be chasing goals that don't actually belong to you. The society's goals or your family's goals, not yours. Monotony. Life has become so routine that nothing feels exciting anymore. Exhaustion. You're not sleeping well, you're stressed, your energy tank is just empty. When nothing motivates you, it doesn't always mean you're broken. It might mean your system is waving a red flag. I'll be honest, I've gone through seasons of like this where mornings where I wake up and think, why bother? What's the point? Even things I usually loved felt like chores. At first I judged myself. I thought I was lazy. I thought maybe I just wasn't disciplined enough. But over time I realized my lack of motivation was really my body begging me to pause. It was saying, we can't keep living on autopilot. We need to rest. And once I started treating it not as a failure but as a message, I began to shift. Here's a big truth. Motivation isn't always about drive. Sometimes it's about meaning. When you know what you're doing, motivation becomes less about hype and more about purpose. If you're unmotivated, maybe a deeper question is, am I doing the things that matter to me? Or am I running in circles chasing things I don't even want? It's like trying to fuel a car with the wrong type of gas. It just won't run. So if nothing seems to motivate you anymore, what can you do? Not a magic formula, not a quick fix, but here are some gentle ways. Shrink the goal. Instead of I'll write a book, make it I'll write one sentence today. Motivation grows when success becomes achievable. Reconnect with joy. Do something purely because it feels good, not because it's productive. Dance, watch a movie, sit in the sun. Change your environment. Sometimes moving your body, changing your space, or seeing new things can spark energy. Rest without guilt. Real rest, not doom scrolling. Sleep, breathe, and let yourself recharge. Talk it out. Share with a friend or a therapist. Sometimes speaking the weight lifts some of it off your shoulders. Find meaning in tiny things. If the big picture feels empty, focus on one small act today. Making coffee, texting someone you love, taking a walk, these are all things that count. Because sometimes motivation doesn't come back with a bang. It returns in whispers. But I want to pause here and say this. If nothing motivates you for a long time, if you've lost interest in almost everything, if even the thought of getting up feels unbearable, that might not just be a motivation slump. That might be depression. And if that's where you are, I want you to know you don't have to go through it alone. Please reach out for support, a trusted friend, a doctor, a mental health professional, because sometimes what we call lack of motivation is really a deeper wound that needs care. So what do we do when nothing seems to motivate us anymore? We start small. We get honest. We listen to what our lack of motivation is trying to tell us. And most importantly, we remember that our worth is not measured by how driven we feel. Even if you did nothing today, you are still valuable. Even if you're in a season of emptiness, there's still beauty in you being here. Motivation will return, but until it does, it's okay to simply exist. To survive today, that in itself is enough. This was Raw Thoughts from A. Thank you for sitting in this conversation with me. If you're in a season where nothing motivates you, I hope you remember you're not alone. I'll see you in the next episode.